both the chair and the ranking member have spoken to a couple of areas that I wanted to talk to you about, and I wanted to ask you to look 20 years down the road and what technologies that you see will be we will be using to reduce nuclear waste. But it sounds like your answer would be, let's wait till July, right?
As far as the short term, sir, yes, I would agree on the wait till July. As far as the longer term, I indicated we have a robust research program looking at a number of different options. I can describe that in greater detail, and it might provide some answers if you'd like me to go in that direction.
Sure.
Within options for the back end of the fuel cycle, we're looking at three divergent approaches. One is the once-through system, which is what we have been on in this country, where fuel would be used once in a nuclear reactor and the used fuel would go directly to a repository. There also has been some research in this country on what we might call a full reprocessing system, where there would be multiple reprocessing steps, multiple exposures in different types of reactors to extract the maximum amount of energy from the original fuel.
And I'm sorry, but would that be done without producing any kind of fuel that could be used in a proliferation, in nuclear proliferation?
That was going to be my next sentence.
Okay,
sorry. The concern with full reprocessing is that at least with existing technologies, there are significant proliferation concerns, to say nothing of significant environmental concerns from the standpoint of different wastes that are produced along the way. So whether it will make sense, even with substantial research, to ever move towards full reprocessing, I simply don't know at this point in time. We also are trying to explore a range of possibilities between those two divergent options that might involve far less processing of the fuel, avoid proliferation concerns, and while not utilizing all of the energy in the fuel, use a lot more than we are now. To put these numbers in perspective, the once-through system uses about 0.6% of the energy content of the fuel. Full reprocessing is 100%, essentially. In the middle stuff, what we're calling modified open cycle, we think might get up to 10 to 20% utilization, but without the complications of full reprocessing. Again, we'll be guided by the Blue Ribbon Commission.
Okay, and I was going to ask, as the chairman did, about modular reactors. How long do you think it might be till they're deployed, till we actually have a modular reactor that's working, up and working?
Well, the first thing we have to do is start this cost-shared program, and we're at the moment unable to do that until we get out of the CR. I think it is still possible to realize operation on the grid in 2020 with a possibility of 2019.
Okay. And I just wanted to ask a question about, this is actually brought up to me by a student at the University of Minnesota Morris, and I'm new on this committee, so I haven't been studying nuclear as much as I will be. Can you tell me what the role of thorium may be, and what the thinking is on thorium as a fuel, what the advantages are, what the disadvantages are, what the pros and cons are of thorium?
Might start from the perspective that the first commercial reactor operated in this country at Shippingport was based on thorium fuel. Thorium fuel was extensively evaluated in the early days of the development of nuclear reactors. Thorium is substantially more abundant than uranium. That may present a benefit. In terms of looking at other attributes of the fuel cycle, at least the studies that we have done to date, and we have ongoing studies, do not show a dramatic benefit for thorium. There may be slight differences in the waste, but they do not appear to be large. In addition, while we are certainly interested in continuing to look at thorium as a possibility, and particularly a possibility for the future, the fact remains that we have an entire fuel cycle built up around uranium, and it would be a dramatic shift and a very costly shift to move on any sort of short time scale to thorium. But is it interesting? Yes. Some countries, India, for example, that has large quantities of thorium and virtually no uranium, have been extremely interested in the thorium cycle. I
Okay,
hope that's
well,
at least a little bit.
thank you very much.